Let's talk about Nijisanji. Damn, what now? Okay, so where do I even start? So a while ago, there was an old moderator of Luca Kaneshiro that just started posting a whole document surrounding that Luca Kaneshiro is a problematic person. All look very believable, including like a lot of receipts, including that she worked as a secret assistant to him, unsanctioned by the company because it was technically against contract. And she even like did stuff for him. Like when Nichi Live has hit 1 million subscribers, they released this handwritten note saying thank you, or sometimes they have merch with like a signature on it. Turns out she did a whole bunch of that. Like he just told her to do it, he never bothered with it, and I'm like, that just sucks if you're a fan of him. And there was like a bunch of stuff of him being like otherwise problematic, but then people started posting stuff about her being problematic, so that's whatever. That's like a whole rabbit hole in its own. It never came to anything. She got a cease and desist. She never really backed down. She stopped posting about it, but I don't remember her deleting anything. Anyway, while all that was going on, she decided like, oh, I have eyes on me now? I also have tea on Aster Arcadia. And she released like some screenshots that she got through Luca of Aster just being an absolute like, I think sex pest might be a good word. And the consensus was they both kind of sucked. Yeah, that was the consensus on those two. But then, like, she released stuff on Aster. He is what you can call him a sex pest, or at least he harasses female talents and other female employees of Nijisanji. That's the allegations. I'm not saying that happened. That's the allegations. But it includes screenshots, including that like really bad behavior towards another liver. I don't want to bring her name into this again. If you want to find out, you can. I don't want to bring her name into this. It just looked really, really bad. People say it was fake, but with like Discord Nitro backgrounds, fake screenshots, especially in older versions of Discord, is really hard. It's like if she was able to do that, she is like genuinely like a graphic design genius. I'm just gonna throw it out there because there was nothing that showed that was fake. That came out, it was a really weird silence around that, and suddenly Aster and that talent were doing a unscheduled collab, and neither of them really did unscheduled streams like that, and they started posting like their hearts together, being like, look, we're very good. But that kind of like spiraled because more things about Aster started leaking, and it also included Twisty Amanozako starting to become a leaker in some way. Like she started leaking some bunch of, I don't know specifically what she all leaked, but she started leaking stuff, which also included stuff about Aster. And eventually they were kind of both put on like inactive around the same time. Like Aster stopped streaming, and like a scheduled stream that he was supposed to do kept being pushed back. And people just thought he was like sick or having mental health issues. It wasn't that uncommon for people to just disappear for weeks at a time. Like, it was uncommon enough that people took notice, but nobody really thought anything of it. But it was a really weird coincidence with those allegations. And around a week later, Twisty also stopped streaming. And if you were looking for the outside in, like if just in the public front, you were probably really confused. But I am just a little bit too deep into the shadow government of the VTuber industry. So I saw a whole bunch of stuff. And I heard a whole bunch of stuff. Directly, indirectly, it doesn't even really matter. Because I think, what was it, like a month ago or something? Suddenly a video of Twisty from around a year ago leaked out of her playing games with some friends. It was just an audio recording. Those friends are completely unrelated to Niji. But she started ranting about people. She started being racist as fuck about some Indian guy. Then she decided to be transphobic, and then she decided to throw other people under the bus. It was really, really bad. I watched the entire recording all the way through, which I got worried about at some point, because, side note, a few weeks ago, like around that time, I forgot to end my stream on YouTube. So the stream was like 2 hours of ending screen, and you could hear me watching videos. And I got worried that that video also made it in there because there were several slurs thrown into there. Luckily, that was after it ended because I started recording something. So it automatically ended the stream, luckily. So I got worried that was on my YouTube page. Wasn't. basically that's just skyrocketed her bad PR because people started like not liking her as much because of some stuff. But also people started praising her for actually leaking the really bad stuff. And people just wanted her to be able to at least come back or have a proper announcement that she was suspended or something. Because, well, if you're suspended from Nijisanji and per contract you cannot have other jobs on the side, it's really hard to go like 8 months or like 5 to 6 months without proper income. And she was talking about 8 months at some point. So she was already struggling a lot financially. Anyway, people wanted her back. Then that came out. People were really mad at her. Like, what the actual fuck? I was really disappointed because I defended her a whole bunch of times. My bad. That was... I didn't know she was like that. Then she posted on her all an apology for that, which was like half believable in this sense. Because in one way, a year is not a long time, but in another hand, a year is kind of a whole time. Because she said like, oh, this happened like almost a year ago, and I have started to realize that my ways were really bad, and I already started battering myself, which is more than a lot of people could do. But then a lot of people were like, if you hate LGBT people so much, why the hell would you join Nijisanji? Like, there are so many agencies out there. Also, she started flaming some person from another agency, I'm not gonna name the agency, for having trans rights matter or something in their bio. And she was like, you should get political. It was really messy. But yeah, she posted an apology, she explained it a bit, it was half understandable, still really yikes for all the racist stuff and the slurs and whatever, and just being weird towards what would frankly be her colleagues. And luckily for her, because she wanted out of the company for a while at that point, she finally was able to get terminated because that was a direct violation of her contract. Like, so they couldn't get her for the leaking, but they got her for the slurs. Like, that was the first thing she did, was actually against company policy. Oh, and I forgot to mention they launched some kind of internal investigation at some point. I don't remember if it was specifically mentioned, if it was towards Aster, but it was very clear it was about the situation surrounding Aster, especially with him and Twisty being, well, they didn't post anything, they didn't upload, whatever. But they weren't officially suspended either. So Twisty got terminated. But now, earlier today, they posted that Aster Arcadia is departing from Nijisanji. Which is an interesting choice of words, because what do you mean separating? Everyone else got either terminated with an entire list of everything that they did wrong, or they got a graduation. Either it was a graduation, like graduation, but not really any information was given, or they got a really loving and grateful graduation. So like, there's 4 options usually. But then Twisty got terminated. She didn't even get like the image with the white background, black text kind of thing. And now Aster didn't either, and they're saying separating. And what someone else speculated is that they cannot terminate him, but they can put him on permanent leave, and saying like, okay, we just have to wait until your contract runs out, but you're not returning. So I don't know what in the end the results of the investigation were. And I have the feeling we might never figure out. But the whole Twisty graduation thing was already a bit weird, because they started unlisting her content a few days before they posted the notice. And Twisty posted on her all that she was finally free. So she was officially like gone from the company days before the official notice. And usually it's like, if it's immediate graduation, it's like a matter of hours most, right? So I feel like they wanted to post it, but there was something else that they couldn't figure out. I don't know what happened, but yeah, that's like the current state of things. I don't know what the fuck's happening. I was finally commending them for being pretty much drama free, like aside from the loose end of Aster Arcadia and Twisty Amanozako not streaming for 5 months. Things were fine, because people that just did decide to leave, those seemed unrelated to anything. Like Ike Evelyn just randomly graduating one day. It just seemed like he was really not doing well mentally. But it still sits me really weirdly that the only person that knew he was graduating, aside from staff handling that, was Kuro. He was the only one that knew. Not even Ike's gen mates. So I don't know.